All right, welcome to the Explainer. Today we're diving into something pretty fascinating, a paper that uncovers a secret your browser might be keeping about you. It all boils down to one critical question. Just how private are your so-called private digital spaces?
Seriously, think about that for a second. When you're in a chat space and it's marked private, maybe you're working with an AI teammate or just collaborating with someone. How private do you actually think that is? This question really gets to the heart of how much we trust the digital tools we're using, like every single day.
Okay, so picture this. You're totally in the zone, right? You're hammering away at that next big breakthrough. Maybe you're learning a new skill or just brainstorming some wild creative project. You are focused, and you're in what you believe is your own little private world.
And why wouldn't you feel secure? All the settings are on private. You probably see that little lock icon. You know, the one that basically screams, hey, you're safe here. You haven't clicked share, you haven't made a single thing public. So naturally, you just assume your work is completely contained.
But here's where things get a little weird. What if a piece of that private session, a really crucial piece, like a clue to what you're working on, is just slipping out without you doing anything, unintentionally, and without you ever even knowing? And that's exactly what the author of the paper we're looking at today discovered. Can you just imagine their surprise? They're looking through their browser history and bam, they find this trail, a whole river, as they call it, of all their private chat titles, just floating there.
So get this. This wasn't just some random one-off glitch. Nope. This is the central finding of a paper that's really digging into what private even means anymore. The author noticed that, yeah, the content of their chats was secure, but the titles of those chats, they were just showing up, plain as day, right there in their browser history.
To help us wrap our heads around this, the author came up with a really great metaphor: the digital house. So just think of your private chat session as your house. It's your personal space, you've closed the door, and you believe all your ideas are tucked away inside, totally safe and sound.
But this is where the leak happens. Even though the door to your digital house is shut tight, it's like a wreath just appears on the outside. And we're not talking about a decorational wreath here. This one has a little tag on it, a description of exactly what you're up to inside.
And here's the direct connection, the how. That wreath on your door, it's the chat title in your browser history. See, what happens is a lot of web apps will dynamically change the title of your browser tab to reflect what you're doing. And your browser, well, it's just doing its job. It logs that title. So while the actual chat content is safe inside the house, the title is hanging right there on the door for anyone to see.
So what's the big deal? Well, it means anyone who has access to your computer, anyone who can take a little drive down your browser history street, can just glance over and see all these digital wreaths. They can see the titles of your private sessions, and they can see exactly when you were working on them.
Now you might be thinking, come on, it's just a title, who cares?
But oh man, these titles can reveal so much more than you'd think. That title could be your company's top secret project chimera, or it could mention an internal proprietary tool. Heck, it might even expose a really sensitive personal topic you're researching. And remember, every single entry in your browser history is time-stamped. So it's not just what you were working on, it's a perfect log of when you were doing it.
And that really gets to the core of the problem here. You didn't choose to hang that wreath on your digital door. You sure didn't ask the platform to decorate it for you. This is all happening automatically, without your consent, and that just completely flies in the face of our basic expectations of privacy.
So you see, this discovery isn't just some interesting little tidbit of information. The author is really presenting this as a call to action. It's a wake-up call for all of us, really. A challenge to become way more aware, and maybe even a little more skeptical, of the digital footprints we leave behind.
So you're probably wondering, okay, how do I check my own digital doors? Well, the author suggests a super simple experiment. Go ahead and open your browser history. Search for the names of the chat tools you use, or maybe a specific project title you remember working on. It's a really easy bit of digital snooping to see for yourself what wreaths, if any, have been hung up on your door.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really powerful question to chew on. When a service slaps a lock icon on the screen and tells you everything is private, what does that promise actually mean? This seemingly small discovery about chat titles, it just blows the doors open on a much bigger conversation about transparency, consent, and what we can truly expect from the tools that shape our work and our lives. It's definitely something to think about the next time you think you're closing a digital door.